Hey guys, in this month's Historical Fiction 101, I'm going to be sharing with you some upcoming releases from July to December of 2020. So it's that time of year again where I share with you guys some upcoming releases for the historical fiction genre, and I managed to find 20 books that at least sounded really good to me, as always, this is not the complete list of books, you guys. The historical fiction genre has grown humongously. There's a ridiculous amount of historical fiction that's published every year. So yeah, anything that I've left off of this list, it's up to you guys to share with me down below what it is you're excited about, so maybe I can go check it out. And to help me with this video, I'm going to be looking here at my computer so I can make sure I'm kind of going through what I need to be going through. So yeah, let's get going. I got 20 books to share with you guys. First up, The Most English Princess by Claire McHugh. And this book is all about the daughter of Queen Victoria, her daughter being named Victoria as well, or aka Vicky. So yeah, this is all about Queen Victoria's daughter, her marriage to Prince Frederick of Prussia, it sounds like. And yeah, she is most notably the mother of Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, you guys. So I'm very interested to read this book and see where it goes and learn more about Princess Victoria. But it's like I know so much about Queen Victoria, you know, I know so much about her, but I don't really know too terribly much about her children. So I'm very curious to find out about Princess Victoria and her life and everything that went on there. Next up, I have a book that I just now realized is a little bit confusing here on Goodreads, and I'm not sure what to tell you guys. The book is called Before the Crown, and on one Goodreads page it says that the author is Edith Bell, and then on another page it says that the author is Flora Harding. So who is it? I don't know. I'm hoping this is a historical fiction book, because over here on Goodreads, one off to the side when it has the tags, it says historical fiction over here. But either way, my understanding of this book, the brief synopsis says here, it follows Queen Elizabeth I before she is actually queen. She is still the princess. Follows her before she's queen, and yeah, her meeting and marrying Prince Philip. And yeah, it sounds like if you're a fan of The Crown, you'll definitely love this. Yeah, it's just confusing. It's very confusing here on Goodreads, you guys. I have to maybe do a little bit more research about this one, or if you guys are a little bit more aware of what's going on with this book. Because yeah, why are there two authors? Is it even the same book? Next up, we have Dark Tides by Philippa Gregory, and this is book 2 in the Fairmile trilogy. I actually haven't even started this trilogy yet. I love Philippa Gregory though. I haven't started this trilogy yet, but I am looking forward to it. And yeah, really what this whole trilogy is about, it's like a family saga is my understanding. And yeah, like this book in particular, it's following a family like through London and Venice and New England and whatnot. So yeah, if you happen to read and if you happen to have read and enjoyed the first book in this new trilogy by Philippa Gregory, the second book is also coming out this year in December, it looks like. Next up, Fast Girls, a novel of the 1936 Women's Olympic Team by Elise Hooper. And this is actually a book that I have won on Goodreads, the Goodreads giveaways, but I haven't read it yet, you guys. I haven't read the book yet, but yeah, this is coming out in July, it looks like. And I mean, the title kind of says it all about the 1936 Women's Olympic Team, which took place in Berlin, Germany, correct? And that was a very interesting year for the Olympics, let's just say. So I'm definitely very interested to read this book. And yeah, the fact that it's a female Olympic team, I'm very, very excited about that. Next up, Jackie and Maria, a novel of Jackie Kennedy and Maria Calais. I know who Jackie Kennedy is, but I have no idea who this Maria Calais is. Oh, and the book is by Gil Paul, by the way. So yeah, kind of just looking through the synopsis here, yeah, we're following the president's wife, Jackie Kennedy, obviously, and then Maria Calais. It sounds like she is an opera singer, and I'm guessing this is a book about the friendship between these two women. So yeah, if you're a fan of Jackie Kennedy, you might want to check this book out. Next up, Miss Graham's Cold War Cookbook by Celia Rees, something like that. And yeah, up here at the very top of the synopsis on Goodreads, a striking historical novel about an ordinary young British woman sent to uncover a network of spies and war criminals in post-war Germany that will appeal to fans of The Huntress and Transcription. I did enjoy The Huntress. I love that book. So yeah, a woman and a network of spies. Sounds awesome. Next up, Red Mistress by Elizabeth Blackwell. I'll kind of read the synopsis here quickly. In the wake of the Russian Revolution, a determined young woman breaks with her past to become a spy in 1920s Paris, where shadowy intrigues and a dangerous romance put her loyalty to the test. Uh-oh. I do love anything taking place like after the Russian Revolution, because there's just pure chaos going in during that time period. So yeah, that sounds great. Next up, The Book of Lost Names by Kristen Harmel. This says that it's inspired by an astonishing true story from World War II. A young woman with a talent for forgery helps hundreds of Jewish children flee the Nazis in this unforgettable historical novel. Ooh, okay, that sounds awesome. Yeah, guys, I definitely got to pick this one. Any type of book that has something to do with Jewish children and just their time at the Holocaust, or people trying to save them or rescue them. I love anything dealing with the children of the Holocaust, because it's just so sad and emotional. And yeah, this book sounds really great. It's probably going to be one of them sad books. Oh god, I have another one on here dealing with children from the Holocaust. This is The Child on Platform 1, inspired by the children who escaped the Holocaust. This book, it says that it's taking place in Prague in 1939. Young mother Ava has a secret from her past. When the Nazis invade, Ava knows the only way to keep her daughter Miriam safe is to send her away, even if it means never seeing her again. But when Ava is taken to a concentration camp, her secret is at risk of being exposed. Oh, this sounds like another devastating book, you guys. Next up, The Eyes of the Queen by Oliver Clements. And this has a cool cover. I love this cover, you guys. This might be one of my favorite covers out of this whole list of books I'm sharing with you guys. After centuries locked in an endless cycle of poverty, persecution, and barbarity, Europe has finally emerged into the Age of Enlightenment. Scientists, philosophers, scholars, and poets alike believe this to be a new era of reason and hope for all, but the forces of darkness haven't completely dissipated, as Spain hunts and butchers any who dare to defy its ironclad Catholic orthodoxy. Only one nation can fight the black shadow that threatens this new age, and that is Britain, now ruled by a brilliant young Queen Elizabeth I. But although she may be brave and headstrong, Elizabeth knows she cannot win this war simply by force of arms. After her armies have been slashed in half, her treasury is on its knees, Elizabeth needs a new kind of weapon, forged to fight a new kind of war, in which stealth and secrecy, not bloodshed, are the means. So yeah, this sounds like kind of the beginning of like when Elizabeth is like kind of first creating her spy network, essentially. So this sounds awesome. The House at Mermaids Cove by Lindsay Jane Ashford. In April 1943, a young woman washes ashore on a deserted beach in Cornwall, England, with short hair and a number stitched on her tattered camise. Alice is the survivor of a ship torpedoed by a German U-boat. She's found by the mysterious Viscount Jack Tyrrell, who suspects that she's a prisoner of war or a spy. But the secret Alice asks Jack to keep is one he could never have guessed, and it creates an intimate bond he never expected. With her true identity hidden beneath the waves, Alice grasps the chance to reinvent herself, but as she begins to fall for Jack, she discovers he has secrets too, once echoing the legend of a mermaid said to lure men into the dark depths of the sea. Oh my god. Okay, I'm guessing this don't really have anything to do with mermaids, but kind of like a concept of it, I suppose, but this sounds really good. Next up, The Invisible Life of Adie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And this is a book that I think part of it is going to be historical fiction, but part of it's also going to get to a place of being in the modern era. But yeah, for right now, the synopsis does say, starting in France, 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman makes a Faustian bargain to live forever, and is cursed to be forgotten by everyone she meets. Thus begins the extraordinary life of Ada LaRue, and a dazzling adventure that will play out across centuries and continents, across history and art, as a young woman learns how far she will go to leave her mark on the world. Ooh, this sounds so good, you guys. And it's making me think of that movie, I think it was called The Age of Adeline. Did anyone else see that movie? It was called The Age of Adeline, and it sounds kind of similar. A woman who somehow gets immortal life, and she lives through the centuries, and this sounds very similar. I like stories like that about people who are immortal, and you see their despair living through the centuries, and kind of their highs and lows, and you know, immortality isn't all it's cracked up to be. So this sounds really good, and I've never read a V.E. Schwab book before. Next up, The Nesting Dolls by Alina Adams, and this is also another book that I've won on the Goodreads giveaways, but I have not read it yet. So yeah, taking place in Odessa, 1931. Marrying the handsome, wealthy Edward Gordon, Daria has fulfilled her mother's dreams, but a woman's plans are no match for the crushing power of Stalin's repressive Soviet state. To survive, Daria is forced to rely on the kindness of a man who takes pride in his own coarseness. It sounds like this book is taking place over 3 different time periods. It's starting off in 1931, then taking place in the 1970s, and then taking place in 2017. So yeah, it's following a bunch of different women and their hardships that they have to face, and the things that they have to do, and that they have to compromise their dreams and fulfill their destinies and everything. So yeah, this sounds like a multi-generational type of book about some women. Next up, The Pool of the Stars by Emma Donoghue. This is another gorgeous cover, you guys. In Dublin, 1918, a maternity ward at the height of the Great Flu is a small world of work, risk, death, and unlooked-for love. Oh, so good. So this is pretty much taking place during like the Spanish influenza epidemic. The irony of this being published now, you guys. So, ooh, yeah, just Ireland, the Spanish flu, yeah, oh my god, this sounds good. I guess just to give a quick synopsis here really quickly. In an Ireland doubly ravaged by war and disease, nurse Julia Power works at an understaffed hospital in the city center, where expectant mothers who have come down with the terrible new flu are quarantined together. Into Julia's regimented world steps 2 outsiders, Dr. Kathleen Lynn, a rumored rebel on the run from the police, and a young volunteer helper, Bridie Sweeney. See, this sounds really good. It sounds like it's going to be like one of those women's stories with women banding together during troubled times. Next up, The Queen's Rival by Anne O'Brien. And this is taking place in England in 1459, and it's following Cecily, Duchess of York, as things are going on with King Henry VI, and people are trying to topple him from power because he's not a really good king at that time. And yeah, this is kind of all just leading into like the War of the Roses, essentially. And yeah, correct, Cecily, Duchess of York, was the mother of the future King Edward the Fourth. So yeah, this sounds right up my alley, you guys. I love anything having to do with the War of the Roses. Next up, The Royal Governess by Wendy Holden. This is a book I definitely got to get, you guys. It just sounds perfect for me. Taking place in 1933, 22-year-old Marion Crawford accepts the role of a lifetime, tutoring their Royal Highnesses Elizabeth and Margaret Rose. Her one stipulation to their parents, the Duke and Duchess of York, is that she brings some doses of normalcy into the sheltered and privileged lives of the 2 young princesses. Seriously. Little Queen Elizabeth I and Princess Margaret. I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love this, you guys. Sounds perfect for someone like me who loves The Crown. And then we got another book here, if you're someone like me who also enjoys The Crown, The Woman Before Wallace by Bryn Turnbull. So this book, kind of just quickly looking through the synopsis, it sounds like this is focused on kind of one of the women that Prince Edward, Prince of Wales, that he kind of had an infatuation with before Wallace Simpson, it sounds like. Here, let me just kind of read the synopsis real quick. In the summer of 1926, when Thelma Morgan marries Viscount Duke Furness after a whirlwind romance, she's immersed in a gilded world of extraordinary wealth and privilege. For Thelma, the daughter of an American diplomat, her new life as a member of the British aristocracy is like a fairy tale, even more so when her husband introduces her to Edward, Prince of Wales. In a twist of fate, her marriage to Duke leads her to fall headlong into a love affair with Edward. But happiness is fleeting, and their love is threatened when Thelma's sister, Gloria Morgan Vanderbilt, becomes embroiled in a scandal with far-reaching implications. As Thelma sails to New York to support Gloria, she leaves England in the hands of her trusted friend, Wallace Simpson, never imagining the consequences that will follow. I'm going to love that, you guys. I'm going to love it. It's going to be scandalous. Next up, Czarina by Ellen Epstein. This is actually a book that was originally published way back in 2004, it says, but I guess it's getting a new publication. I don't know, maybe this is a new publication here in America, perhaps, because I don't think I've ever seen this book before. And yeah, before there was Catherine the Great. There was Catherine Alexeyevna. I'm not Russian, you guys. The first woman to rule Russia in her own right. An astonishing debut novel about the incredible rise of Catherine I of Russia from a singular new talent. So yeah, this is not about Catherine the Great. This is about Catherine the First. So yeah, don't get that confused. But yeah, this sounds awesome, you guys. I think I'll definitely get this. Yeah, even though it was released back in 2004, I've seriously never heard of this book. Next up, if you're a fan of the Last Kingdom series, the final book in that series is coming out, called Warlord by Bernard Cornwell. And yeah, I don't really know too terribly much about the Last Kingdom books. I have seen the TV show, you know, taking place in like Anglo-Saxon England, following kind of the Viking raiders and the English people, and kind of all the war and drama that happened there, and yeah, Alfred the Great and all that good stuff. So yeah, if you're a fan of this series, The Last Kingdom, the final book is coming out. 13 books. You guys, good lord, I can't believe this series has gone on for that long. I definitely need to start this series, because I've been wanting to kind of start it, but I've not been sure because there is so many books. But yeah, the final book is out, which I guess gives me good motivation. Like, okay, it's all done. I can binge it if I want. Next up, When We Were Young and Brave by Hazel Gaynor. Taking place in China, December 1941. Having left an unhappy life in England for a teaching post at a missionary school in northern China, Elspeth Kent is now anxious to return home to help the war effort. But as she prepares to leave China, a terrible twist of fate determines a different path for Elspeth and those in her charge. 10-year-old Nancy Plummer has always felt safe at school, protected by her British status. But when Japan declares war on Britain and America, Japanese forces take control of the school, and the security and comforts Nancy and her friends are used to are replaced by privation, uncertainty, and fear. Now the enemy, and separated from her parents, the children look to their teachers to provide a sense of unity and safety. Faced with the relentless challenges of oppression, the school community must rely on their courage, faith, and friendships as they pray for liberation, but worse is to come when they are sent to a distant internment camp where even greater uncertainty and danger awaits. Ooh, this sounds really good. It sounds a little different for World War II fiction, but yeah, I'm really loving the sound of that book. So you guys, that is it for this rather lengthy video for some upcoming historical fiction releases. In the comments below, like I said, if there's any other books coming out this year that you want me to be aware of, please let me know, because I'm always looking out and on the search for good historical fiction. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.